India. Game number 2 in Asian Rugby Sevens 2016. And the first game, Japan winning it easily over South Korea, 36 points to 0.
Here comes Thailand versus India, and we're seeing a mark of respect to the king Bhumibol, who passed away just 2 days ago. There were some doubts they wouldn't participate in the tournament, but they're here and that's great, and they're up against India. First time we've seen them on the series this year. Bit of an unknown element. Thailand, of course, have taken out 4th spot in the previous 2 legs, both times being beaten by Hong Kong for the 3rd and 4th positioning. And it'll be quite emotional, you'd imagine. Thais out there a long way from home and their friends and family. We get underway deep right into the chops there. Early free kick for India. Let's see what they can do with ball in hand. Great opportunity for them on the series. Show what they're made of. They play a bit of hot potato to start with, and here goes Namita. Gets dragged to the ground by Piamat. Referee says that's all good. Coming back now for Piamat. Chomphumi, now they're up to the 10-metre mark. Can Thailand get on the outside through Jutamas? No, she can't. That's a good tackle. And good support on the inside for a couple of nice passes. And Uttampon Liamrat is going to go around for the first try of the weekend for Thailand. And good support play on the inside from the Thais after some good covering defence from India. Couldn't hold them out. Here she is, Uttampon Liamrat. One of the veterans of this Thailand squad, and the kick is a shocker over to the left-hand side. 5-0 as the sun beats down here in Colombo, bringing it round. Just good inside support, and the defence was always struggling. They're underway again. That's a good restart. That's going to bounce on turf, and getting it on the bounce is Jutamas Phuket, and she just can't juggle it. And India a bit guilty there of not diffusing that restart, and then thinking perhaps it was going to sail across the touchline, but it stayed in, and luckily for them, Jutamas has knocked that on.
Approach. Bind. Set.
Indian backline extremely deep there, and they're suddenly about 20 metres behind the gain line and under all sorts of pressure from Thailand. Coming out of the line comes Chichanuk and buries her over the try line there for a 5-metre scrum, making things a little bit difficult for themselves, India, from that first scrum of the match. So Thailand with an attacking scrum now, right in front of the right-hand upright. What has the Indian scrum got here? In it goes. Indians put a shove on, but it comes back to Thailand. Jutamas again gets the quick pass out wide to Thanachpon, and they're in for try number 2 after quite a strong looking scrum from India. And then it was just to the left, and the experience of these Thais, knowing where the space is, they can play some very good sevens at times. There's a definite gulf between the top 2 teams on this series. Here we go again. We see the replay. Uttampon scores one and then delivers one for a 2-try and a 10-point lead early in this first half. It's landed on grass. That's a good restart finding the turf, and they'll give themselves a chance at the line out.
No quick.
You've just got to take those restarts. We've seen that a lot in this series. Teams not able to do that and really making lives difficult for themselves if they're not taking it. And that's a good line out, soaring up in the air went Hembram. And again, the passes are behind and the players are too deep, and they've just gifted Thailand a third try there. And the Indian side too deep and not running onto the ball, standing static and just inviting Thailand to scream up and put all sorts of pressure on them, along with the pressure they're putting on themselves. Uttampon with the conversion, third time lucky, 17-0. Terrible pass. Here we go again. Can they handle this kick? That's an identical restart. This time getting under it is Margie. She gets it on the 22, but Thailand working hard. India get it back now. And again, the passing is hot potato, and it's straight into the hands of Piamat. That's extremely well anticipated, but a knock-on. Two knock-ons, perhaps. And we'll come back for a scrum. It's very well anticipated. And India let off the hook there.
Roach.
With a minute left in this first half.
Fine.
It's teed it up with the feed.
Safe. India.
And a good tussle going on there in these front rows. And
Put up.
the heel was up early.
Number 2. Put up.
So India now
No. Good job.
awake with the ball. Team didn't really know what was going on as Pradeshi set off on a run of her own. And look at this Thai defence coming up now again. And this is Chichanuk. Scrags her, tries to keep her off the ground.
Ball is out.
Margie goes to ground. Is there some space on this side now? But it's a sloppy pass. Just keeps it in, and it's a forward pass.
Careful.
So
Round.
India continuing to make things a bit difficult for themselves here.
Let's go.
And as the hooter sounds,
Ah.
Thailand with a last chance
Crouch.
to nab themselves a fourth try
Bind.
and take a huge lead into the second half.
Cut. Stay.
Teed it up with the feed. It's Scruffy, and she's accosted by Pradeshi, almost without the ball, you might say.
Reverse it.
Straightening up goes Uttampon. She's been dynamic in this first half. Good pressure from India. They've stolen the ball, and now with the
Cross forward.
a little bit sloppy again, but that'll be half time. 17 points to 0 here. Thailand with a good start to their campaign here in Colombo. They'll be looking to improve upon their fourth placing in the first two legs of this series, and that'll mean quite possibly a confrontation with Hong Kong later in the day. There's the second try. and this was the third try. India making it just too easy for Thailand. Thailand haven't really done anything special, but they're ahead 17 points to 0.
Press 1 and turn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thailand sitting on 14 points on the table after 2 legs. China and Japan on 22 each. We've had 2 marvellous finals in Hong Kong and Seoul. And above Thailand, we have Hong Kong on 16 points. So Thailand, if they were to finish ahead of Hong Kong at this tournament and with a better points difference, could still take out third spot. There is a clear gulf between China and Japan and the rest on this series, and there's an early fumble from Butsaya, and so it'll be a scrum. No, sorry, India were offside. Thailand put on a bit of trickery out there, and they go straight through the middle on the burst. Goes Piamat. She's going to go all the way under the post. She gets those long legs working, and that's a good try to Thailand. 22-0 within the first minute of the second half. Did you see it go? My word. Love to see that whole movement again from the quick tap. Players coming from all directions. Piamat, Chompumi, 4th try of the series. And the kick is over. So it's 24-0. That's a good start to the second half. We just see the end of it here, but there was some good work done there with a set move on the halfway line. And coaches love to see those come off, don't they? It's a different restart. Now here come India with some rare ball, but they're just not able to get another pass in. And here come Thailand again, showing no mercy. This is Jetapon. Puts on a bit of footwork, tries to get round the outside of Namita. She comes back at her and brings her down. Quickly on the scene was Piamat, try scorer. And that's a loose one over the head of Naratsara, but referee was playing advantage. Naratsara number 1's another one that can really put on some footwork. Got 3 or 4 very well balanced runners have Thailand. It's a tap. Thailand are spread wide across the park here, and they're using the space. This is Ruxina. Tries to get on the outside of Barik, and there's a knock on, and then offside. So good desperate tackle from Maji out wide, number 7, and Indian player just tapping going and not really communicating with the rest of the team, and a little bit of a fend. Rest of the team had turned their back and were walking away. Pradeshi decided to go for the quick tap and ended up getting pushed across the touch line. Naratsara goes up in the line out. Butsaya again, running all angles, back on the inside, come Tirarat. And this is Butsaya again. Good tackle again coming in from Margie. Brings Jirapun down on the 22, but the continuity is good. There's a good steal there, ripped it out of her hands. That was Pradhan. And some loose work in the shadow of their goalposts, and luckily Thailand have spilt that forward. Otherwise it was try number 5, more than likely for Thailand. Minute and a half remaining. India this time decide to kick it and go straight into the arms of Thai defender and then back luckily into the hands of Pradeshi, sorry. And now it's Thailand. Surely they can run this one in, and show and go from Bruxina, and she goes in by the upright for a pretty simple try number 5. As the substitutes come on for India. Not able to exit from that position over there with the scruffy kick. Good vision there, just to use the show and go. She had a player outside her, didn't need her, and it's 31 points to 0. It's beautiful Racecourse Stadium. It's a good restart. It's not taken. It's bobbled by Maji, and that's gone forward. We've seen teams struggle in this 8-team format. There are clearly 2 top teams, and then after that, Hong Kong and Thailand. Greek and Shahi, Sweta Shahi in 12. It's their big moment. Get their hands on the ball for the final seconds. They've got 2 more games later today, India. They'll have Japan after this, and then they'll have South Korea. So not going to be easy for them. And what happened there, the scrum has popped up and everyone stands around as the hooter goes, and it's a bit of a cat fight in there. It's a mess, and finally it's Sunjukta Munda who decides to put it down, and that's it. The game's over. India with a few work-ons, and Thailand, they'll be reasonably satisfied with their first hit out today. And they'll be up against South Korea at 2:18 and Japan at 5:14 local time later today. There it is, 31-0, Thailand thumping India in match 2 of leg 3 of this Asia Rugby 7 series.
Completion of game number 2, 31 points to 0. Thailand have beaten India in the Group D game of the women's category. Coming up next is also a women's game. It's a Group C game, and it will be China taking on Singapore for the first time in this Asian Rugby Sevens 2016.